You're listening to the ADHD Support Talk Radio podcast. ADHD Support Talk is sponsored by ADDclasses.com. Visit www.addclasses.com to sign up for free webinars today. Well, welcome back to ADHD Support Talk Radio. I'm your co-host, Lynne Edris, and as a productivity and ADHD coach, I help overwhelmed professionals reduce procrastination, improve time management, and get more done with less effort so that they have more time, more energy, and even more money for what they love most. So I'm a woman with ADD myself, and I've been where so many of my clients are and where so many of you guys are and have come out the other side, so to speak. And I have helped thousands of adults with ADHD do the same for themselves over the last 12-plus years. And I know you can have the same success yourself. You can go from living in that constant state of chaos and underperformance to a life full of success and fulfillment, too. You can learn more about me and what I do and the programs and services I offer at www.coachingadvantages.com. And when you sign up on my website or text the keyword HACK, HACK, to 444999, I'll send you my 7 foolproof productivity hacks to help you add hours of free time to your week by investing just a few smart minutes each day. Well, I am excited. This is going to be a fun call because it's with one of my favorite people about one of my favorite events. So today I have with me Laurie Dupar, and she has something really exciting to talk about today. Again, it's one of my favorite ADHD events. So welcome, Laurie.
Thank you, Lynne. I'm excited to be here. What a pleasure to be able to talk with you about both of our favorite events. Yeah.
Well, tell our listeners a little bit about you, what you do and how they can learn more about you.
Yeah. So as you said, my name is Laurie Dupar. I have been an ADHD life coach for about 17 years. Prior to that, my other life was I was a trained psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. And because of my own son being diagnosed when he was young, like many people, I entered into the ADHD world and was lucky enough to discover coaching and also be able to use my background in the medical field to help other people with ADHD. And then about 4 years ago, I opened my own training program because people kept asking me, what do you do? How do you do this? Where we are International Coach Federation approved and train other people who feel like this is their passion or their calling or their purpose to learn how to be an ADHD life coach and help other people that are struggling with ADHD. So that's just sort of all of it in a nutshell.
Very cool. Well, what we're going to talk about today is, again, like one of my favorite annual ADHD events. It's the 2019 Succeed with ADHD Telesummit. So tell our listeners a little bit about the details, right? When it is, how long it is, how it works, all of that.
Yeah, great. So if I forget anything, I apologize because I feel like my head's always swimming with details at this time of the year as we are getting revved up and raring to go with the Telesummit. But this is a Telesummit that we actually started, Lynne. Surprises some people, and for me, it's an old saying, it feels like yesterday. But we've been doing this for 9 years. This is our 9th one, and believe me, when I first started the first one, first off, I didn't think I was going to survive because I was so nervous talking to all these people that, all the experts that we invite on the Telesummit and all the great information they had. But it's been so well received because it's an international conference or Telesummit, and people have the convenience of being able to tap into it from really anywhere in the world. And we purposely do it in the summer because you can listen to it on vacation. You can listen to it, while you're even at work or while you're at home sitting by the pool or something. We just know that there's ADHD doesn't go necessarily away in the summer, and we just figured it was a good time to provide some really easy access to getting information. So for 9 years now, I've been inviting ADHD experts, stepping out of my comfort zone to invite ADHD experts and hosting this Telesummit to be able to provide free information to people all over the world. And it is for a week. This year it's from July 15th through 19th. And the way that we're doing it now, Lynne, and we learned this from just sort of realizing how busy people are, is each day there are 5 sessions or segments with our experts that people can listen to in any order they want, however they want to. Some people like to block out a specific amount of time so they can listen to all of them in one sitting. Other people want to listen to the 30-minute segments one at a time. But whatever way you want to do that, each day we provide a new set of information and topics for people to listen to, and it's free. You have 24 hours to listen to those 5 recordings before they're turned over, and then a new set comes up and will provide a whole new source of information from some of the best ADHD experts out there.
That's amazing. I know it's one of my favorite to attend as an expert, which is always weird for me to call myself that, but it's one of my favorite to participate in and to present, but it's also, I also listen to the recordings. Every single one of us is still a work in progress, right? I always find something that I can learn from somebody on the Telesummit. And 9 years, I mean, holy wow, that's really something to be proud of, because this is no small undertaking. It is, I mean, the amount of coordination and just the amount of details, and I know you have some support, you have a great team, but 9 years is amazing. Tell our listeners how this came about. Like, what inspired you? How did this get started?
Well, I think that if I started 9 years ago, that must have been, I've been doing this for, I'm terrible, 8 years. Mm-hmm. And what I realized, Lynne, was that, like you, I'm incredibly passionate about people with ADHD realizing their brilliance, really, and not being limited by this particular brain style. I saw that not only with my son, but other members of my family, and I just saw that with so many of the clients I was working with. And what I realized about 8 years ago was that, or 9 years ago, was that I still got too many calls from people, or still heard from too many people who I was first meeting, that how much they were struggling, how much what they didn't know about ADHD, and that there was sometimes so much information out there that they really didn't know where to start with it. So I felt like, okay, I'm going to take this big chance, step outside my comfort zone, and I'm going to see if I can do something that has the potential to reach truly worldwide. That was the intent of it, is to be able to, at the time I was sort of naive enough to think that, well, it's just that I can't be everywhere. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and I love this area. At the time when I started this, I was in California, and I just know that I am not going to be in some of the places of the world in order to bring this information. So I hope that the Telesummit would be a way for people to access this information, like I said, in a really free, convenient manner, and stay on top of some of the most important, helpful information that was out there. When we the first year we did this, we called it I think we may have only had 10 guests, which is a lot anyway, but I didn't necessarily know that I was sort of naming something that was going to be going on for 9 years. And yet every year that I do the Telesummit, I hear from people. It's one of the most amazing things, is that I hear from people who have truly been touched and whose lives have been changed by the information we provide. Because I really do try and invite people on the Telesummit. I like to think of it as really cutting edge. It's the speakers get to bring a topic that they're really passionate about, so it's something that they're very interested in. They also have a lot of experience in, and it also tends to be those topics that you may not hear at some of the conferences. You may not, or you may not be able to attend the conferences. So I've found that we're really sort of ahead of the curve when it comes to some of the information or some of the discussions that we have on the Telesummit. And it really, like I said, changes lives. And that is so rewarding. If even it changes one person's life in a positive way, or something that was said in one of the sessions helps them in some way move forward, I'm happy. And I really make sure that the content of the Telesummit is addressing multiple different aspects of our lives. So it's not only addressing our personal lives, but also our professional lives, our emotional lives, our relationships. It addresses adult issues as well as student issues or parenting issues or college issues. So there's a really wide variety. That's something else that I want to be able to offer, because it's not just one size fits all, as you know, with ADHD, and I want to make sure that somebody walks away from the Telesummit with a real valuable nugget.
And that's it. It's high value, right? Presenters are very interested and very passionate about what they're presenting and about what they do, and it's not fluff, is what I'm trying to say.
Uh-huh.
You get some really good content and some really good value in these sessions and in these presentations with some of the top experts in the world. So who will benefit? You talked a little bit about that, but there's stuff for adults, there's stuff for parents. Tell us a little more about, who this really is intended to reach.
It's really intended to reach anybody who has ADHD. I know that sounds like a really broad topic, but it is. It's anybody who wants to know more about their ADHD, become more aware of what ADHD means in their life, or how to better management. You don't have to be struggling to be able to benefit from the Telesummit at all. In fact, there's a lot of information that is simply adding to what you already know. But I can almost guarantee that no matter what area you're struggling in, and hopefully we'll talk in a minute about some of the themes that are coming up in this year's Telesummit, you're going to take away something that's going to enrich your life. I really want people to know, though, you don't have to be struggling. If you're just wanting to add to your information base, it absolutely is going to hit one of those keys for you.
Absolutely. And, from what I know about who's on this year, who's been on in the content from past years, even like service providers, teachers, counselors, anybody who cares for anybody with ADHD, parents, family members, friends of people who have ADHD. There's something in here for everybody. Anybody. Every single person on this planet knows somebody with ADHD. What is the number? 1 in 20 million, right?
Yeah. And this is the way that I say it. So if you have ADHD, so thank you for sort of saying that again, Lynn. Anyone who has ADHD or loves someone that's ADHD, whether that's personally or professionally.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to say it. So there's something in here for everybody. Everybody.
Yep.
Coaches, sports coaches, trainers, teachers, neighbors, friends, family members, everybody. There's something in here for everybody. So tell us a little bit about some of those highlights that we're gonna see and hear this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited about what I have been listening to. One of the pure pleasures for me of doing this Telesummit is that I get to hear. I get to spend one-on-one time with people as I help them prepare for and create their particular segment for the Telesummit. And this year it seems that a lot of people are talking about or sharing topics around really the sense that people are getting fed up with either being misunderstood with ADHD or struggling with it or having it limit their life, right? That there's sort of this theme to that is really fun to see. And like I said, each year it's different, and that seems to be something that I see coming up. And so some of the topics that are addressed in here by different speakers are the addressing some of those emotions, healing low self-esteem, addressing the shame, self-limiting behavior, and then on the other side, how to get yourself out of having those experiences and having really some concrete ways to help yourself get on that other side, like I said, to really start to appreciate your brilliance. And part of that is being able to discover new or reinstate a strategy or a technique that you maybe hadn't really thought about before that really makes a difference for you. So I'm really excited because I know that it's not just the physical environment or disorganization that people think or the distractibility that people struggle with ADHD. Whatever age you are and the older you are, the more that this has impacted how you see yourself and how, right? And that is almost a larger obstacle for people. So seems like this year people are just sort of getting fed up with all of that. The other thing that I'm excited about is that we have several different speakers. They're talking about it from a different direction, but also looking outside of the traditional medical model for ways to better manage your ADHD. Having a background in medicine myself, I absolutely, and I speak a lot personally on ADHD medication and how people providing information, things like that. But this year we've got some people talking about some, I guess you could call more natural ways and exploring things like diet and food and other types of strategies that I know are really interesting to people with ADHD, and also an area I really believe in that has not been fully explored. So I'm excited to be able to have people on to start or to provide a starting point for these conversations and this information. Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. And that's definitely something that we've just started to scratch the surface with, and definitely something that there need to be many more conversations about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's also some,
go ahead.
I was going to say there's some really fun, just I know this is enticing everybody, but I'm excited because we've got some really fun little, I guess, sneak peeks of some really interesting information that's out there. Specifically, Ari Tuckman is on. He, in the last few years, has done some research on relationships in couples where one partner has ADHD. His book is due out in August, and he gives us a sneak peek of what's in that book. So that's super exciting, and he's always a great addition to any gathering of people with ADHD. We also have Michelle Frank, who is co-authoring a book with Sari Solden, and we all know about them as being, Sari and Michelle, really being interested in the effects of ADHD in women. So she's coming on to share some of the pieces of their book and what they've learned, and talking about this new book they have coming up, A Radical Guide for Women with ADHD, right? So that is a really fun topic that is coming on as well. We have people talking about workplace accommodations. We have people talking about, yourself included, about awesome organizing strategies for people. That's always something that we can all either be reminded of or learn something new to add to our already repertoire. One of the, we have speakers talking about Maggie Ray being one of them, the beautiful Maggie Ray, who specializes in students with going off to college and helping you prepare for that. And we have our speakers who are talking about parenting. The women from Impact ADHD are coming on, Elaine Taylor-Kloss and Diane Dempster, about raising children with ADHD, and we also have a guest, Samantha Moe, who specializes in that. So there's lots of variety. One of the speakers that I'm excited also about having on, it's been a while, and we've really been talking about some of the topic of addictions and ADHD, and it's not easy to find somebody to come on and talk about those particular things. And so I'm really excited to have a woman named Kate B., who is from the UK, come in and talk with us about an approach that she has that she's created for people, specifically alcohol and ADHD. So I'm really excited about that, to be able to offer that up and see how many people that it touches. I know that a lot of people use alcohol to self-medicate, so that's super exciting. So those are just some of the little tidbits and takeaways and topics that we're going to be covering over that week of the Telesummit.
That's awesome. I'm really excited. And as you know, like I said, we're all works in progress, but one of the things that I always find when I listen to the Telesummit is that someone will talk about something that I've heard about before or that maybe I even already do, something I know, but they'll talk about it in a different way. They'll frame it in a different way that makes me see it different, makes me feel differently about it, makes me look at it differently, and gives me some insights that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So really, there's value in all of it. And really, even if it's a topic that you think you know and you think you've, I'm using my quotey fingers, as my daughter says, you think you've mastered, whatever that means, there's still going to be something in there, I think, from every single presenter that's going to make you look at things a little bit differently, make you think about things a little bit differently, and make you think about, if you're the individual with ADHD yourself, make you think about yourself a little bit differently, make you think about your child with ADHD or your partner with ADHD or the people that you serve with ADHD a little bit differently. And it's so important. It really is. And I love that you cover all of these different areas. So there really is, there's something here for everybody.
Something for everybody, absolutely. And I can absolutely attest to that. If I've been doing some of the preparation work and having a chance to listen to some of the presentations, I'm madly taking notes because I'm like, that's such a great idea. So exactly. It's even if you think you know the topic, I really encourage you to spend the time to listen to all of the sessions, because if it's not applying to you right now, it might be something that's going to come up in the future and helps you look at something in a different light that you hadn't necessarily had the chance to do before. Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff, really good stuff, and it's very exciting. So it's coming up at the Succeed with ADHD Telesummit starts July 15th, runs through the 19th. So tell our listeners how people can access this info. Yeah.
So I absolutely will. Like you said, July 15th through 19th. We do offer this free. So that was one of the important things for me, is that people are able to listen to this free. They have 20 each day. Once you register, you're going to have 5 different segments you can listen to. There's over, I think, 12 hours of wonderful content that is in total. You can listen to that each day in whatever way that you want to, and you have 24 hours before the content is uploaded. If, for instance, sorry about that, you can hear a train going by, real live recording here.
Yep.
If for some reason you're worried that you might miss some of this or miss a day or you're something like that, we make it really super easy for you to be able to get a recording of this. So you can simply upgrade to get what we call our ADHD Success Toolkit, and in that, people are going to get all these extra bonuses along with all the recordings that they can listen to for as long as they want to. They're yours to keep. You'll get all these extra bonuses that these speakers are also offering, and that's only $97. So it's a super easy, really kind of no-brainer deal for people considering the value of information that they're getting. You can register now. So if you want to go and make sure you've grabbed your seat and you're all lined up to get this information, you can go to coachingadvantages.com/SWAT. It stands for Succeed with ADHD Telesummit. So it's coachingadvantages.com/SWAT in order to register. Hopefully that will get everybody there.
Absolutely. And one thing you mentioned very briefly is that all of the speakers are giving the participants who upgrade to the ADHD Success Toolkit some sort of a bonus gift. They're things of value.
These are ebooks. These are actually sneak peek chapters to some of the books. They're videos, they're guides, and in fact, I'm actually enlisting some of my students from the International ADHD Coach Training Center to do some coaching and consultations with people. So that's something new that we're offering this year that I'm super excited about, that we're able to bring the training program in and really provide some services for people that might not otherwise have thought that that was available for them. But yeah, these are additional valuable items that you would have paid for that you will get for free when you upgrade to the Telesummit. So thanks for letting me tell everybody about those. And when you go to the website, you can see what those are and read about the speakers, read about the topics in more detail, start to set up your schedule about what you want to listen for, see what the bonuses are. And like I said, if you think that you're going to maybe miss something, you may not be able to listen to them all. Absolutely, you don't have to miss out at all. You can easily just upgrade for that Success Kit, ADHD Success Toolkit. And once you're on the website, it'll tell you exactly how to get that.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much for being here. I'm excited for the event. I'm always honored to participate as a presenter, but I'm also really excited to attend as an attendee. Again, It's July 15th through 19th. You can sign up at www.coachingadvantages.com/SWAT for Succeed with ADHD Telesummit. So go ahead, Laurie, give out your contact information or how people can learn more about you if you'd like.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, if you're interested in knowing more about my private coaching practice, you can go to coachingforadhd.com. That's all spelled out, coachingforadhd.com. And if you're interested in finding out if maybe ADHD life coaching is a direction that you want to take in your life, check us out at the International ADHD Coach Training Center at IACT.com.
Thanks so much, Laurie. It's been a privilege to have you here again. I always enjoy chatting with you. And thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.